did a great job tonight. Really just getting to Gartman early. He threw a bunch of pitches. We got his pitch count up. He's more of a, fastball changeup and tries to fool you a little bit, trick you, so to speak. And Coach Thompson, Coach Warner's had our hitters ready to roll. I mean, they fought off a lot of pitches, tried to go the other way. And obviously we scored 4 runs. They gave us some of those runs, didn't make some plays, ran into each other. We had some things go our way, but at the same time, really good job on the offensive end. I thought Tiger came out and threw the ball really well for a couple innings, and then Will came in and really did well first couple innings, and they started figuring it out a little bit and got out of a jam or two, but it's just a good night for us.
Andrew Ellis.
Yeah, Coach, I was just wondering how tempted you were to have Tiger pitch the 3rd inning, even though he's at 20 pitches. Was there any thought to bringing him back out?
Yeah, he could have gone back out for the 3rd. We just had him finish down in the bullpen. He threw another 15 down there, and we just decided to go that route. So he's fine. He threw well, throws fastball for a strike, and it's really good to see.
You went with the same lineup 2 nights in a row, and Neville and Holt both came through with a few good at-bats, had some positive results. I was just wondering what you saw from those guys and how good was that to see?
Yeah, it was really, really good to see, because we knew that there was going to be some people on base, some runners on base when they came up, and they needed to advance runners, maybe bunt somebody in, bunt somebody around, maybe drive somebody in. And, Neville got us going with the ball off the wall. And then, I don't know, it seemed like that Holt got a couple of hits and hit one hard pass to third baseman with 2 strikes, single to right center, drove in a run. And, everybody chipped in up and down the lineup. I mean, it was a really good effort up and down the lineup, all 9 guys.
Bob.
Yeah, Dave. Kendall Diggs had a big night, 5 RBIs. I guess he could have had 6 if they hadn't called an error there on that one ball. But just wonder what you thought of his night. Yeah,
I'll let you answer this question, Ivan. So when he hit the ball deep to the outfield, it would have for sure been a sac fly, and they didn't catch it. That should be called a sac fly and an RBI, if you know what you're doing scorekeeping, because that's the way you score it. So he had a great night. 5 RBIs, should be 6, looks like he should probably be 3 for 3 instead of 3 for 4.
Okay, I thought they gave 1 RBI on that. Maybe I missed that. And then
they did give him an RBI.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
You're saying it should have been a hit.
Yeah. Well, maybe, I don't know. No, nobody asked me what I thought. And then you're 10-1 against Mississippi State since 2019. You probably would have beat them in 2020 if you got to make that trip. Just wonder what you think about that, being 10-1 against them since your last 3 series.
I remember 5-6 years back, it seemed like we'd come here, they'd beat us 3, they'd come to our place, we'd beat them 3. Kind of did that for a few years in a row, it seemed like. And then, when we came down here a few years ago, I think in 21, and we won all 3 games. They were really good. They ended up winning the national championship, but we've just played pretty well against them. So I don't know if there's anything to it. You catch them at the right time or whatever. That's kind of the way this game works a little bit.
I know Andrew already asked you, but I couldn't resist. How big was Holt's game for you? What do you think about him?
Well, when these guys, they work hard, they practice hard, they're good players. They wouldn't be on the team. And that's what I tell them, when you get an opportunity, help us out. And they do. And they did tonight. It was really good to see, Holt come through with a couple of hits, couple RBIs, and, just the bottom of the order chipped in tonight. Really, really did a nice job.
Yeah. I might have a couple more. I'll turn it back to Oliver. Thanks.
Robert.
With the game being shaved 2 innings today and only using 5 pitchers for the first 2, I mean, how comfortable are you feeling going into the finale for this series?
Well, it's a better feeling than knowing you don't have very many options, obviously. But we're hoping that Hunter has a good outing, good start tomorrow, and we score some runs, play good defense, and we'll go to the next available guy depending on the situation. But really everybody's available except maybe the guys that have thrown. Maybe one of those guys will be available. We'll figure that out tomorrow.
Hutch.
Dave, with Tigert, how did his stuff look today compared to a week ago?
Well, I thought he threw good last week as well. I mean, today he was throwing his fastball for a strike. Kept the ball down, and I just thought he threw the ball well both weekends. So, I mean, I don't really look at the velocity. I just look at the location more than anything. I'm going to guess he was 92, 93. Good breaking ball, and pitched well. I think they got one runner on him in 2 innings. So, I think they hit into a double play ball, I think in the first, maybe they got 2 runners on, but it's really good to see. Keep building him up and, get him ready to maybe go 7 or 8 one day this spring.
And Brady Slavens, this is back-to-back games. He's had a home run. Just what has he meant to you and your program over the last few years?
Well, he's been a steady left-handed hitter for the most part. He's become a threat, and the teams know about him, and he's older, and even if he's not going good, he still puts a lot of pressure on the other team's pitchers. And, just with his presence and what he's done, and they know that if they make a mistake, he can hurt them. And so he's been great for our program, big over the last 3 years.
Andrew Ellis.
I'm good. Bob can finish it up.
Hey, so Bob.
I forgot to mute myself anyway. Hope I didn't say anything stupid. Dave, that home run by Kelly, what'd you see on that? And then obviously gave you a chance to run rule. How big was that? Just what'd you see on that home run from him?
Well, the pitch, excuse me, too much allergies. The previous pitch was a breaking ball from that lefty, and it kind of hung, and, he tried to shoot that ball to right center, and he fouled it off, down the right field line. And I feel like that the pitcher felt like, hey, I got away with one there. And I think everybody in the stadium, especially Callie, knew he was getting a fastball in the inner half, because they've been trying to pitch him in. After he got those 3 hits last night to the opposite field, it seems like they're trying to throw the fastball. When they throw the fastball to him, they're going in, and he tried to get that one in, and he was ready for it. And he obviously hit a 3-run homer and gave us an opportunity to finish the game early. It was big, because then we didn't have to use any more pitching.
And then McIntyre, that's 2 pretty good back-to-back. I don't know what you call them. I guess you can't call them starts, but appearances, I guess, or outings or whatever. Just what do you think about him? Having 2 good back-to-back games now.
I thought he threw the ball really well. He came in and spots his fastball, throwing that cutter, slider, change-ups to lefties. Kept the ball down for the most part. Really, one of the balls he left up, it left the yard, and he made a mistake with it looked like a cutter up. I don't know if it was a cutter or change-up. I think it was cutter. And, the hitter had seen him once already. If he makes a good pitch, he might get a ground ball to short, but he left it up. And other than that, he made some good pitches. Even the last out of the game, the hitter did a really good job of going down and hitting about 7, 8, 10 inches off the ground changeup, kind of buggy whipped it with one arm. It was a great pitch. Just really, really happy for him bouncing back after Georgia. He's had 2 really good outings.
And then one last one. As far as I know, the goal is to win the series, and you guys have done that now. But I would think you get greedy when you win the first 2. You really want that third one, especially when you got Caroline and Vandy coming up. Just kind of what's the mindset going into tomorrow? What'd you tell the team about that?
Well, what I always tell them, it's hard to sweep anybody, especially on the road. We're playing a team that's kind of fighting for their life, trying to get in the conference tournament. I just expect us to do what we do. We show up and we play hard, and if we play well, we got a chance to win. We've got a good pitcher, a starting experienced pitcher on the mound, and a bullpen. But the game's funny. You never know how it's going to go. If you think you're going to come out and you got it made because you got this guy going and they got that guy going or whatever, it ends up backfiring on you. You got to just come out and, play with a little bit of intensity and see how it goes. But I don't worry about this team too much showing up mentally. For the most part, every game this year, they showed up and played hard.
Thanks.
Hutch, you got your hand up?
Yeah, Dave, you mentioned the mistakes that Mississippi State made defensively, but not only did they make those mistakes, but y'all capitalized on them. Just how big is that? And it seems like y'all have done that quite a bit this year.
Yeah, well, I told the team that after the game, they made some mistakes. But we, you can say they gave us some runs. They did, but we also drove in runs. And when we got extra at bats or runners in scoring position, we got them in for the most part. And, you still got to get them in. You still got to drive them around if they boot a ball or run into each other. You got to lead off double instead of an out. And, we scored that run, and that's big, that the team is, I think they realize that team over there can hit. I mean, they got 80 home runs. They got 10 more than we do at least. And, no lead safe. We've seen leads disappear and 4 runs lead disappear before we got an out, so, sometimes when you lose a game like we lost at Georgia, it might help you win a game down the road. And you realize that no lead safe, you got to keep scoring. And I think that we do that.
And you said one guy who's pitched so far might be available. Is that Adcock? And do you feel
Yeah,
good
he would
about him
be-
pitching?
Yeah. We had him up today, he threw like 11 pitches yesterday, and he should be available to go. Other than that, we're not going to bring Wood back. I don't want to bring him back. I want him ready to go next weekend. And he did what he needed to do. And he threw, 50 plus pitches. So Coach and I talked before the game today that we weren't going to bring him back. And after the game, we also talked about it again, that we're not going to chance that. We got to get him right, keep him right.
All right, Coach. Thanks for the time.
Okay.
We got Brady Taggart, Kendall